hoping that perhaps we can get someone to share out the new link, and hopefully everybody that has left us has now come back onto the Scottish Dry Tooling Club YouTube. So hopefully everyone will be able to tune in again. Sorry about that, guys. The internet is a little bit sketchy here, and I think it chucked us off.
So on the right hand side we have Vivian Lavarelle from Switzerland, absolutely flying up here. One of my favourite climbers to watch as well, and she's making short work of this middle section. She's been on the route for, I'd probably say, a minute 30, minute 40.
And on the men's route, just about to set off, we have, who have we got? We've got Kevin Linlau from the United States of America.
Very, very strong dry tooler outdoor. And I think once he gets to the roof, he'll get a rest.
I think he's here to make final. Well, not that everybody isn't, but you can see him setting off. He's a man on a mission, isn't he? So we've got Vivian on this really technical part here between these two. Some really big moves. It's monstrously big, and I think those holds are okay, but they've really struggled with that section. But she's got through that big span there, and she'll be eyeballing that ice above her, being like, right, I need to, I think any of these athletes that have come out will know that they need to get into that roof at minimum to qualify.
Good foot.
So they've got this big undercut here, and then they've got to do this big move up the way.
Because you can't stand it, you can't get a rest. It is just undercut, isn't it? Oh, come on,
she's
Vivian,
held it.
come on.
So you can see the route setters have put this undercut hold for the women that Vivian just came off there on a volume. Now, what that does is it brings the hold further away from the wall, which means that if you try and stein the head of the axe against the wall, it just doesn't reach. So you really have to float that hold to be able to do it. And Vivian's actually opting here to use her hand, although the struggle with that is she going to have the reach to make this next move? Oh, this is going to be difficult. She's done it.
Come on.
Look at that, brilliant.
Well done, good. Kevin's at the difficult bit, like no baller.
He didn't struggle there, did he?
Go on, Vivian, come on.
So I think that shows the experience of Vivian there, you know, realizing that, there was some difficulty with making the move.
Yeah, I think there's such low percentage moves as well that they're very unforgiving. Like if you don't reach, you're coming off.
And she knew that there was a risk with using her tools, so she instantly adapted and decided, right, how can I do this differently? And she took it with her hand, and although we were both questioning it, she made it look great. So there you go, she's got through that move, and here she goes into the ice.
Big jump, he's going off the long handle. Okay, big cross move. I don't know how happy he is. Oh, that was clever. Okay, get the feet on, mate. Well done, well done, well done. Oh, she's left her tool.
Is she able to get it back? Where is her tool? I can't even see it.
Her tool's on the wall. Go on, still in the hole that she left.
She got it?
Come on.
She's got to reach that tool.
Come on.
So although she isn't out, she needs to be able to get...
She's speaking to Dennis.
She needs to get that tool back if she wants to keep going.
Come on, Vivian.
She's trying to get it fixed. Here we go. She's into a fig foot. She's going to reach now. Come on.
Effectively reverse the move. Yes. It's only so long
you can hear everybody shouting.
Come on.
Really wanted her to make this move. What an odd experience having to make a move back to your ice tool.
I know. I've just made this absolutely phenomenal move. Now I'm going to do it again.
You can see her trying to toe hook the top of the ice there just to get some weight off her arms.
That's clever.
Oh,
Vivian.
She'll be absolutely gutted with that. Making a move and not being able to continue because you haven't got both tools.
That might be enough.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people come off lower than that. So
Kevin's flying through this.
So we're just about to share the link again. Anybody that is tuned in just now, I know we had to switch links for this live stream. So if you are watching and you've managed to find us again, please do share this new link, whether it's on your Instagrams or Facebook, or even just if you've got some team WhatsApps for your kind of nation with all your ice climbers, mixed climbers. Please make sure this link gets shared out so that everybody back at home can be tuning in. We apologize that we dropped out, but I guess that's the risk with doing it off of the mobile signal that we've got here. So Kevin here, he's about to make this move and put himself into the high point. I don't know how much time he's got left, but if he can make this next move, he's going to match with Gihado from Japan, who currently is in the lead, I believe.
So touch the next hold, and it looks like you're going to be into finals.
Yeah, there's not that many more to come. You know, we're about, where are we?
We're over halfway.
Yeah, we are over halfway. So yeah, this could see Kevin into finals, I think. I think that's it. He's almost certainly
Release that hold.
confirmed his space.
Okay, good. I don't know how much time he's got left, though. I don't think it's very, very much. Oh, now we have Olga Kosak on the right.
So where do you want to start, Oz? Shall we? So I think for both me and Oz, we're super psyched that Olga's here in finals. Olga is an athlete from Poland. She's been competing for forever. And she's a good friend of ours. She often comes to the UK to train with the GB team. She's done a lot of work with us and our team to really improve the younger athletes.
Sorry, mate, just 2 seconds. But on the left, Kevin's got the new high point there. Come on, lad, come on.
He is doing well, isn't he?
Come on. Breathing heavy, though. This is amazing.
I don't think he realizes how well he's done. Otherwise, he'd be really pushing to push this high point even higher. But he must know that he's done well.
He's 5 or 6 moves off top.
And it looks like we've got an undercut on the next hold here for Kevin. So it's going to be a tricky next move for him. Here he goes, taking it in. Short grip, standing tall.
Yes. Good. Come on. He's got the touch. Come on. Oh, he's out of his mind. Come on. Yes, well done, that man. Right,
and he's into that next hold.
Yeah, good. Time.
What an exceptional performance there from Kevin.
Yeah,
he'll be absolutely chuffed with that.
Good lad.
Okay, we've got to quickly switch the focus here back to Olga. So, as we were saying, Olga's been competing forever. She's an absolute beast. You know, she came 4th in the Speed Cup last night, so she's no stranger to climbing in both disciplines. She's been training like an absolute monster. Her coach, Alec, who also happens to be her husband, has been training her and putting her through her paces like mad this year. And she came on a training camp earlier in the season, just before the season kicked off, to the UK to train with the GB team, and she is stronger than ever, I'd like to say. We've seen her on the podium multiple times this year in the Continental Cup, and you know, Olga will be looking to push this high point as high as she can here. She's climbing super smooth as she always does, and I can't wait to see how well she gets on. Let's see how she does this move. Super strong, no trouble whatsoever. Come on, Olga.
So on the left-hand side, we have Johan now, and he's an absolute freaking beast. Yesterday, climbed both qualifiers super well, really quickly. Veteran of the sport as well. If you want to go on YouTube and watch any previous competitions from Korea, this man will be involved in them. Really good.
Olga's just absolutely cruised through that tricky move where Vivian had to use her hand. She just took the undercut and instantly knew what to do with it. So you can see her here just under the roof having a little shakeout. And I think, like we were saying earlier, I think this is really smart. You know, the roots are really long here, and if you can get to the top of that wall, have a little shakeout before you go into the roof, and then absolutely blast through the roof, you give yourself as much chance as possible as A, making it through the roof, but B, having a little bit of steam left for that head wall. Because I think although the roof is tricky, the holds tend to be good, whereas as we've just seen Kevin at the top of the head wall, the moves don't give up when you get back to the flat. They only get harder. The holds get smaller and more technical, and although you get your feet back, that's where you really have to have the energy to be able to push those last few moves.
Come on, Olga.
So she's into this hanging ice barrel. The arm's instantly starting to burn, I'm sure.
Come on. Feet through. Now I know Olga will be thinking about her breathing right now. Just deep breaths, one hold after the other. Because in the ice, you don't have to worry about your tool coming out because you can get the full pick in, so it's nice and relaxed. Clip.
As relaxed as you can be whilst you're hanging from one hand on a frozen block of ice, hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
This sport is a little bit bonkers, isn't it?
Come on.
So Olga there, she's Got both feet on top of the block there. She's doing so well to keep it together.
So getting your heel on the top of the block, again, about getting weight off your arms, and that will help massively.
And it looks like she's got her rake, so that the points on the bottom of your crampon are actually really useful when you're on the roof to kind of hook onto the top of a block like she's just done there. And she's flying through this. I think we've got a new high point here.
Really clever.
Come on, Olga, you can do this. Come on,
Yes,
big move out
come on,
right.
come on,
This
big
leg's
legs.
going to go over into that 4, and she's going to push out right now. She's
First
got
time,
this.
First time. You
And-
can tell in her body language and everything that she's so comfortable and calm right now.
She doesn't look tired at all, does she?
This is amazing to see. Come on, Olga. Come on. Next move.
Ah! What a nightmare, but what an effort. I
That's
mean,
really good.
I'm going to go out and say, I think that's enough,
And
you know.
To be honest, see if you qualify in last position. It's a good thing because you haven't used any extra force that you haven't needed to.
And here's Quan going for the dyno. Oh, and he's hit it.
Yeah. He actually didn't go into it clean, did he?
No, it looked like he hit the volume and then slid down onto
Yeah.
the hole, which I don't think he'll get penalised for. You know, with a jump like that, the
Nah.
judges would have to really want to get you for that. But he
I
hit
get
the hold,
benefit of the doubt.
and he's kept his feet on. You were saying that earlier, Oz. If you can keep your feet on like Jorge did, straight into that wall,
Big
you can
wheels.
see the span this guy has. Look, he's so lanky, and just finding the sweet spot on that hole before he commits. And I think the legs are going to go over onto the arms here. Here we go.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Yes, good foot out. So up next on the right we have Hiroku, who has competed in quite a few European Opens this year, coming from Japan, and she's actually come to Europe, gone back to Japan, and then come back to Europe again for competition, same as Masato did. So the effort that these athletes put in is absolutely incredible.
And the
if you-
money,
And the
like
money.
the
And if you actually
Costa.
break down the time spent on the wall, it's phenomenal. Like each second costs you a quid.
I think it's probably more than that, to be honest.
It probably is. Probably is.
So Quan here is flying through the roof section on the left. I believe he has quite a lot of time left, and again, like we were saying with Olga, you can kind of see some of these athletes when they're in the roof, they just don't look like they're expending any energy, and I think he's looking pretty fresh. You know, that the feet are going straight onto the arms into the floor, everything's controlled. You know, you're not seeing the arms cramp up. So if he can get back onto this head wall again, I think like Kevin, we're going to have another athlete on this head wall giving it everything to try and push that high point as high as they can.
Good.
And again, reiterating, the athletes that are on the wall have not watched the previous athletes, so there's no advantage to going last.
So on the right hand side here we have Hiroki, and I say this every time she climbs, but I can guarantee you she won't fall. She'll time out. Never really makes a mistake and can just hold on for dear life. So I'm going to say it again, she ain't going to fall.
And Haruko won her first medal this season.
Yeah.
She was in the Netherlands in December for the third round of the Continental Cup.
Yeah.
And although she's competed in quite a few of the Continentals and come so close so many times, I think she's been fourth about 3 or 4 times in the Continental Cups, which is, it's an amazing effort, and coming fourth is nothing to be sniffed at. But to come fourth after traveling from Japan so many times, and then, like I said, in December at the start of this season, she came out to the Netherlands and won, I think it was a silver medal, which is just amazing. And it's so cool to see athletes, keep putting in the effort, keep showing up, and then finally be rewarded with, with that chunk of metal around your neck.
Come on, Hiroki.
So Quan's looking strong here,
Gonna take it
taking
with
his
his
stone with his hand, is he? He's opted against it.
Oh, you've restricted yourself there, buddy. Yeah.
I think he's got to keep his feet on and just go for this next move. I think it's a big chuck out left here, isn't it? Here we go. He's going to go for it. Oh, so close. Come on.
Watch that right axe.
He's got it.
Yes, well done. So I was constantly looking at his right axe there because there was so much shift and so much movement. Don't let your foot slip now. Come on, mate. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, he touched
and
it.
again.
Come on, come on. Keep fighting, keep fighting.
He's got the touch for sure, but can he get this hold?
Oh,
And that's timeout.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy with what he did there. That was a good effort.
So that's both Kwon and Kevin that have got to that same big reach and struggled with the move, but also timed out exactly there. So I think for someone to get past that high point, they are going to have to climb at a reckless pace at the start. But sometimes that's what's needed. So Haruko isn't the tallest climber, and she climbs very static, so it's going to be interesting to see how she tackles this really big move here with this big press. You see her really cranking hard here to make this move.
See, this is the sort of thing that I struggle with as well, because I'm not the tallest of climbers either, so I spend quite a lot of time watching the females compete. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
she
it.
did the crossover. Much better, much better.
I think that definitely gives you a lot more reach, kind of pulling
So
from
much
one
more
side to the
stable
other.
as well.
And she's going to go into this undercut. She's found it.
So on the left-hand side, we've got Kieran Griskin coming out, aka Panda from America, very strong boulderer, loves eating carrots apparently.
So yesterday in all of the qualification, whilst we were all chilling, he just seemed to have a carrot in his hand permanently. I'm not sure what that's about, but clearly it is working.
Not just a carrot, like the biggest carrot you've ever seen in your life.
So Keenan is one of the younger climbers to be here from the USA. He's been competing in the senior competitions for the last 2 or 3 years, and every year has been improving. It's been brilliant to see him come from the youth categories, where he's won gold medals, all the way through to now, really pushing into World Cup finals. And I think, he's definitely a favourite today. He's been climbing really well, and I said they'd have to start with a blistering pace, and he's not messing around here. He is flying up that start wall. And with the women, Haruko about to go into that ice barrel, where we saw Vivian have that nightmare with her ice axe, but hopefully Haruko can keep both her tools in her hands. Let's see if she can get through this roof.
So Kieran's going on the left-hand side here into this difficult move. I don't think he's not going to have no problem here at all. I wonder, did they set this as the first crux, the second crux, and then there's another one up above?
Well, I've been in that position where you're route setting, and all of a sudden you've got athletes falling off a move that you didn't even consider to be a problem. And it's stressful, as a route setter.
I remember last year looking at you and you're like, like, I really, like, what's happening here?
But it's so easy, when you know how to do a move and you've practiced it or trained it and you know the holds and you said it, and then you think,
it's not that hard.
And you can be watching athletes fall off this move one after the other, and you're like, oh my god, I have totally messed this up. But then, it just takes one athlete to come out and do it right, and you're like, yes, I knew I'd set that to the right level. Keenan there swinging about. He doesn't look like he's struggling to hold it though, so if he can get his feet together, back under control. Good lad.
He was sampling some of the local delicacies yesterday. I don't know what they were.
I think they were worms.
It looked like some kind of bug or something, but he seemed to be enjoying them just to help the carrot go down.
There's definitely some unusual food here in South Korea. We've a lot of the teams came out to Seoul early, so we had a week to kind of experience the city and go out for dinner. And come on, what did we? It was a bit
Korean
odd.
barbecue, and sometimes it's not only the food that you're eating is unusual; it's the style and how it's made or given to you, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I would keep these two things in the same cupboard. Never mind in the same plate.
I think you can feel a little out of depth here sometimes.
Everything just happens so quickly, and you're like, oh god.
I remember seeing Oz's face when we went to the Korean barbecue, and they started bringing some things out, and he wasn't convinced. But hey, we tried it, and it was pretty good. We had some really good food. But it was interesting talking with Ema, who has she's an Irish athlete. She'll be coming out
Very, very
later
soon,
on, and she actually lived in Korea for many years. And she said sometimes she's been to Korean barbecue places and ordered the wrong thing, and you end up with intestines and all sorts of horrible food. So
put it this way, I didn't leave hungry. So that was the main aim.
So Haruko on the right coming up to the women's high point, and I think we've got another timeout there, Oz. The women seem to really be getting their time absorbed by that middle section.
Do you think if you said to people, right, okay, if you can, if you fall off, you get a go again, like people would get higher. I think everyone is climbing with a bit of fear because it's semi-final.
I think there's always a risk that you climb differently because of the pressure.
Yeah.
But to be honest, these athletes are so experienced. You know, getting to semi-finals, these people know how to climb, and I think the on-site ability is practiced. And the more semi-finals you go to, and the more time you come out of isolation and have to climb on-site, I think the better you get at it. And
Yeah.
and you know, I think especially here in Korea, where a lot of the holds are quite positive.
Yeah.
I think it can be quite obvious. So, although these guys might not know exactly how to do the moves, their climbing IQ can identify exactly what they need to do from one hold to the next. And I don't think we've seen anybody do anything necessarily wrong,
No.
just struggling with the difficulty of the
And
routes and the holds.
You'll agree that you can watch 10 people climb a route and every person could do it differently. Like people will climb to their strengths or their style, and at the end of the day, every athlete goes onto every hold thinking this is the easiest way for me. Sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you get it right.
I think what's the famous quote? It's that sometimes you win and sometimes you learn.
No, sometimes sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Which
Yeah.
is so true though,
Yeah.
because it all goes your way and you feel like a hero, and
Yeah.
you make one small mistake and you have to not beat yourself up for
Aye.
it. You have to just get on with it and literally learn for the next time.
Yeah.
So here comes Keenan. Is he going to hit
Come
this
on,
move?
mate, come on.
We've not seen anybody nail this hold
And
yet.
if you look at the direction of it, it's not just a pull down, you actually want to go over and then keep pulling to the left as you go into it. So if I was there, which God willing, one day I might be, left hand short, right hook in, long right, and do a cross.
I think he's actually going to maybe go with the left hand,
Yeah.
because I think you want to pull this hold to the left. Here we go.
Yeah,
He's going to
yeah,
go
you're
with the
right,
left.
you're right, you're right. Oh, that's a massive move.
It's so big.
And you can't 4, you can't 9, so you are very, very committed.
I think he must have got the touch there, which will put him level with Kevin and Kwon.
Right,
Oh,
definitely,
it's so close.
definitely with a touch.
This is such a hard move, I think.
Come on, mate,
This
come
is-
on.
Can't have long left. He's got to give it everything now.
So on the right we have
And that's it. Timeout for
Marion
Keenan there, I think.
Salmon Thomas from France. We're going to go on a wee bit of a European run here on the women's route. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That was the one. That was the one, mate.
And that's Keenan out of time now. He's come down, but again, matched with the high point. You can see him unsure of whether or not it's been enough, but it almost certainly is, I think. There's not enough people now to chuck him out of finals, so we will be seeing Keenan climb again later today. And who did you say we got on the right here, Oz?
Marion Salmon Thomas from France.
Good to see her back on the world circuit.
Yeah, she had a wee operation recently, didn't she?
I think last year she took a bit of time off and has been recovering through the summer.
Yeah.
And, well, from what we've seen so far, she's climbing strong.
Really, really, really strong. New axes this
New
year
axes,
for the
yeah.
tour.
Interesting to see. She had kind of iconic ice axes from Gravel, which have been on the circuit for about 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And really interesting to see that she's decided to kind of update them to something more modern.
I actually seen last night Jonathan Brown's father competed on the first ever set of Krukonogi axes that they released.
Wow.
And they looked
Bonkers.
wild. Yeah, they did look bonkers. It's a very, very cool photo actually. Checking it out with the hand. So you might see them just touching the hold with the hand. It might mean that they've got absolutely no intention of taking it with the hand, but there could be a wee dimple or a wee hold or just the right bit for the axe.
Just looking for that sweet spot that
That
they need to
sweet
hit the
spot,
pick
yeah.
into. And these sweet spots, they really can be, I mean, literally a millimeter
Yeah.
of this is where you want to be, and if you're anywhere else, you're not holding the hold. I mean, especially with these kind of metal holds where there's a specific dimple, and if you get it right, it can feel like the most solid hold. Whereas if you get it wrong, you are not going to hold on to it whatsoever. So starting up on the men's route on the left-hand side, we have Cheongsong Lee. Now, I think I'm right in saying that this guy is a IFSC sport climber as well. super strong. I think he's won various medals in IFSC and various medals in UIAA. So it's great to see that there are some athletes that are truly multidisciplined.
Were we at his gym the other day?
I think it was his
Father-
father's gym.
Well, aye, him and his father have a gym in Cheongsong, and it was old school. But it just shows you that you don't need the most elaborate structures in the world to be world class. It was just old school bouldering gym, a lot of tooling holds in the back of it. Quite cool, actually. It was very cool. MST on the right here doing very well. Went into the ice.
So here we go. She's just having a little shakeout before she commits.
Come on. She's going in left hand short.
Yep, she wants to stay high, which is, I think,
The right thing
good
to
beat
do.
her. Yeah. You see her going in for the 4 there, so that she
Yeah.
can control the swing.
And she's got her foot into the bottom of the ice as well.
Oh, and there goes the swing. She's cruised it. Easy peasy.
Really good.
So she's got to not forget that clip up on the right, which is quite a big reach up, but I think she's just going to sit straight up and get it. Look at that.
Look at
easy.
Yeah, beautiful.
And if she can get off of this ice and onto the headwall, she's still looking pretty fresh. So
Oh,
we might see a new high point.
That was awesome.
Was that Lee doing the dino?
Yeah.
Mega.
Effortless.
So I guess this is home territory for him. He's going to know how long he can hold on in the roof and what it's like to climb across this roof. I think we saw him last week in the Asian Championships finals. So
I think-
he is no stranger to climbing across these boxes and these roofs.
So, see, after you've done, I don't know, however many meters of climbing, what would you say to this point here? Hard to say.
I reckon it's about 15 meters to
Yeah.
the roof.
Right, so 15, 16, say 17 meters. See this move that they've got to do, this part of the crux. Well,
Oh, they're
that
at
is the
least
crux.
20 meters into the roof,
Yeah.
and they'll be out there mines up there.
That move would be hard in situ, like as a boulder problem on the ground. Come on.
So Marian's got the Stein pool on the roof here. I don't think we've
Yeah.
seen many athletes go past this, so
No.
she's definitely
No.
looking like this performance is
And
going to do her well.
Really good for time as well. That's fantastic.
Just making that clip so she can get on with the next move.
Match up with the short, go long right.
I'm sure she'll have her teammate Bazil down the bottom shouting his lungs out to try and give her as much information on time. That is allowed for both semis and finals for athletes to shout to their teammates how much time they have left. Obviously, no beater is allowed to be shared, but she will know how much time she's got, and she'll know that every move she makes now is kind of guaranteeing her place into that finals. So I'm just going to pull this up a bit higher as she makes it into that. Let's see if we can just adjust this camera just to give you a view of both of these guys in the top sections of their routes.
So she's definitely got the high point now. Oh, yes.
And she's off, but I don't think she'll have any disappointment with the way she climbed there. Being up on that head wall, cruising around. And we've got Lee on the left here, who has just walked through the roof by the looks of it. And if he can get onto this top head wall, I think he's going to make that move. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no bother. I think this is probably the harder section for him. And once he gets his feet back on the vert, he'll be okay.
Saying that, he does need to get onto this stone.
Oh, he's not on.
Not quite. He just needs to get that axe to go over the top lip. So a lot of these kind of holds in Korea, they set them as wraps. What's the word they use?
Oh, I'm not even going to...
Younger, that's it.
Is that it? Younger.
I think so. It's when rather than using the tip of the pick on a hold, you kind of wrap around the back of it.
I think he's on it, but he's not in the best.
And it can feel, it can be solid when you're wrapping a hold, but
Yeah.
the one danger with wrapping is that if you add too much sideways motion to your axe, you effectively just lift the pick off the top of the hold. So even when he moves left here, he needs to push this hold to the right, which is hard enough to do when you're fresh. But when you've got to do it at the top of this wall on the roof, here he goes.
Come on. You know what's really funny? See when you've just made a really hard move and you're like, oh,
come on.
The next move's equally as hard. Come on.
Yes, he's got it.
I think he'll do this move first time. No problem.
And here we go, into the undercut. So this is the
Yeah,
move
and now
off of this undercut that we've not seen anybody
He's
complete.
just going to have to go. He's just going to have to
Look
go.
how high he is on his feet. I think he's going to hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Oh, no, mate, no. Just reset. Shake.
I mean, I don't know whether the root setters have overcooked this move,
I think
but...
the left foot, you can just see the dimples from where we are, where people is left.
Oh, he got it!
it! Yes,
What a
good
hero.
control, get the right foot! Oh!
But I think he got the release of that left axe there. He was fully
so?
on that
Think he got
hold.
it?
So, without a doubt, he will take the first position now.
Yeah.
Pole position for the men, which is pretty impressive, to be honest, to make such a difficult move
Oh,
after,
yes.
what did we
Ema-
say, 20 meters of climbing?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Emma McSwiggan on the right hand side, representing Ireland, and in a way representing Korea as well, because she obviously has spent a lot of time of her life here and gone into the sport in Korea. She's climbing on Jet 2s. I've just recently bought a set of these axes that are made in Korea.
This was a totally, like,
Yeah.
instant decision for...
It was love at first, Stein.
So if there's anything I know about Oz Miller here,
Is
he just
important.
loves his shiny kit. And
Yeah.
I mean, he picked up these tools, and instantly you were just like, I'm buying a
buying
set.
them.
I
I'm
can't
buying them.
not.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like that for these climbers when you pick up something and you, I think when you feel that it just suits you,
Yeah.
that's it, isn't it? And,
Yeah,
and here,
yeah.
Other side of the world, and there you are buying brand new tools because you just knew that was the right set.
Yeah.
But you didn't climb on them yesterday.
No, I decided against it through listening to more experienced people, aka Willis. It's hard not to climb on them, it really is, because they felt so comfortable when I trained on them the other day, but you can't swap your axes like a couple of days before you go to a World Cup. That would be crazy.
So Ema on the right, I think this gets said in every single live stream that she's climbed on, but it is worth saying because she does so much for the athletes. But Ema is kind of the head of the athlete commission, which are athletes that have been nominated by all the athletes on the world tour to kind of represent the athletes' intentions and kind of dreams for the sport. She is the pioneer for pushing for the athletes to get the best out of the sport as they can. So she does a lot of work with the UIAA and with the board for the Ice Commission to actually improve the sport for us. And I think, for people like us that compete, it's just so impressive that she's able to do so much for us.
The thing I like about the athletes that we have on the commission is that they see it from both sides, because some athletes can't maybe see the huge picture that is the UIA and competition and everything, but the people that we have looking after it see from both sides and want the best for not only the sport, the competition, but for the athletes as people as well, which is the way it should be looked at. Everyone has to be a winner.
And she's no stranger to making finals.
No, a complete beast in her own right.
Ema's got, I don't know, countless medals in Continental Cups, World Cups, and it's just awesome to see that even with all the work she does and everything outside of just training, she's still able to perform so well here.
Mm-hmm.
So who we got on the men's route just here? I don't recognise
have
him.
Cheong Min Kim.
Number 19 bib
Yeah.
number. Again from Korea. It's so impressive to see how many of the Korean athletes have made it through to semi-finals. Now, the quota for the UIA World Cups per nation is 6 athletes in each discipline. And again, another athlete loses their axe there on that move.
A super good hold that they're coming off of.
I also think it's partially because of the quick draws, and as you swing onto that ice
Yeah.
barrel, I think the rope and the
Yeah.
draws and everything's in your way. She'll be upset because she was looking so good there. But yeah, on the quota, as I was saying, it's 6 athletes per nation, unless you are the host nation of the World Cup. So here in Korea, they've had 9 athletes per male and female. So they do have a little bit of advantage with the number of athletes that they've got competing today. But as is that's the rules.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
great to see
And
host
if-
nations be
if
allowed to
you-
compete with
Yeah,
more.
and if you think it's unfair, simply host a World Cup.
True.
And then you can fill the quota.
But this year we've got 3 World Cup rounds,
Yeah.
and I believe next year we're almost guaranteed to have some more. I think
Talking
all
about China?
all the the venues this year have kind of committed to
Agreed to it again.
doing it next year, and then
Yeah.
we've got China coming back.
Yeah.
They haven't hosted a World Cup since before COVID, and
Canada this year. That hasn't been on the tour in a wee while.
yeah, first one in Edmonton, which is
Yeah.
going to be the World Championships as well.
It's going to be fantastic.
And then I believe France will also be hosting a World Cup again. They tend to do every second year, so yeah, next year should be 5 World Cups, I believe,
And
which is going to be a crazy season.
On the right hand side, needing no introduction, Marianne van der Steen from the Netherlands. Trained for this all year long.
Yeah, so Marianne topped both qualifiers, I believe, yesterday, which is kind of her new thing, isn't it? I think there's not really been any competition she's not topped every qualifier. She definitely did it in Brno, where there was 5 qualifiers. She managed to top all of them, which is kind of unprecedented.
So Marianne is kind of like a futuristic athlete in this sport, because doesn't work and puts all her time into the sport. And see, everyone else that you see generally has a job and is as good as they can be without giving up on the work that allows them to come to these competitions.
And I do think it's impressive, you know, deciding to kind of
it shows
commit
you,
entirely to the life of
Yeah.
being an athlete,
And
you know, training full time, and it's clearly working for her. You know, she's won multiple gold medals already in the Continental this year, and I think, you know, Marianne's been competing on the circuit, I think, well over 10 years, and I don't think she's ever managed to make the podium in the Worlds. And I think if it's ever going to happen, it is going to happen this year.
So she's climbing really well.
So I'm just going to move this camera up a little bit, because on the left-hand side, again, we have another male athlete coming up to this absolutely desperate sequence at the top.
He's going to go... Is he going to try to go up right first of all? Or he's going to do...
He's getting the clip, so it's done.
Right.
And then here we go. This is the move.
Oh my god!
Like nothing.
What?
That's just insane. For all the athletes
See,
to
that's
have
not
struggled
that's not
so
a tall
much.
thing. That's a strong thing. Come on.
And again, he's going for the next hole where we've seen Lee pop off, and he's got it. I think
Yes,
we're going to
come
see a
on.
top. How much time has he got, Oz? Do we know?
I think he must only have seconds left. He wasn't that quick through the roof.
Are we going to see a top? Is it just...
Oh, mate.
Wow. Hey, what a performance.
That's amazing.
To come, what, just one hold from the top is just absolutely insane.
So we have 3 men left, and we have 3 women left. This is running absolutely beautiful.
I was going to say, I think we're definitely ahead of schedule.
We're definitely...
So Marianne, definitely not moving fast here on this lower section, but
you don't need to.
to be fair, we've lost a lot of ladies just in this section that she's kind of cruised through.
Yeah.
Just finding this undercut move, which I don't know whether you saw there, but a pick kind of skated the first time she went to it, and a lot of athletes have done that.
Yeah.
And we saw Vivian taking it with
Yeah.
her hand, and Marianne, through that no problem. So maybe the slow and steady approach in that section is the way to get through it without having a nasty surprise. And I think if anybody is going to do well here in the roof, it's Marianne. You know, she's been climbing D13, D14, D15 this year.
Yeah, warms up on like D12, which is absolutely insane.
And to just be so comfortable without your feet on the wall,
Yeah.
I think here in Korea is an exceptional skill and such an advantage. You know, she'll be glad to get off those sketchy holds, I think, and get onto the ice where she knows she's not going to fall off. She knows she's not going to let go.
Notice Marianne when she's doing the 4s and 9s how high she always has the bend in her knee. So that's, if you're wanting to be an absolute pro at them, this is a key thing that you have to do, is get really high up on your wrist, and it allows you to rock up over onto it and kind of weight your wrist on the axe. There we go.
So Jaeum Lim on the left from Korea, just starting. You can just see him coming into the bottom of the screen there. I won't bother moving the camera because we've got Marianne so high up here, and he's already in the frame. So
Yeah, he's cruising.
we'll leave it as it is, and we'll have a chat about him when he gets up to the higher points. I think he is looking pretty strong and flying, so it won't be long. But Marianne here just pulling out over the barrel of the wall, just getting her hands sorted before she kicks out right here. think she'll know that she needs to get a shift on now if she wants to
I don't
push it
think
higher.
These moves aren't super reachy for Marianne. It seems to be that she can go from one hold to the other without too much messing around.
And she's another athlete that was unfortunately caught out by the baggage problems traveling across the world. She lost both her bags with all her kit in it, so she is climbing on borrowed boots and her husband's axes, Dennis. So although they are the same axe she would normally climb on,
Still not this.
it's not the same. Like you said earlier, picking it up, you'll just
Like,
feel the
if
difference.
you had to climb with Caitlin's axes,
I would know.
You
Yeah.
would know, like the same axe, same everything, but it's just not the same.
But it's clearly not affecting her too much. She has cruised through this section in the roof, and she's going for every hold she can get now. This is where I think all the athletes, when they get onto that head wall, it doesn't matter how much your arms hurt.
So
you just have to keep pushing.
That-
You
that-
can't let go. You
well,
just got to fight.
That's Marianne now in finals.
Amazing. She's looking so strong still. Look, she doesn't even look tired.
Yeah.
Come on, Marianne, you can do it.
Do you
Alright.
think there's beta or differences to climbing a bottom section quick, then slowing down and speeding up, or do you recommend the same pace constantly throughout the whole route, or does it depend on what route you do?
I think it depends where you are. You know, like we were saying earlier, the bottom sections of all the Korean routes tend to be quite friendly. I think you can afford to turn the pace up,
Yes.
and without adding risk
Yeah.
to your climb. But I do think that if you climb too fast in that roof, you're just
Marianne.
going to tire out. I think she timed out there, but
Done enough.
she's definitely done enough. She doesn't seem unhappy at all. I think it won't take long for Dennis to meet her down the bottom and tell her that she's done it. So
I think nice, easy.
it's funny how we're so accustomed to people making that dyno now, and
Yeah.
it's not because these guys are any less impressive.
No one's failed on it.
Everybody has made
which
that
has been
move, and
incredible.
it's just cool to see.
Go on, lad. So I remember there was a while where dynos weren't that popular, but now if there wasn't one in a competition, people would be like, "Where? Hey, what's happening? Where's the dyno?"
I think it's funny to see the influence from different competitions showing up at different places. I
Yeah,
know
totally.
I know that, like we were saying earlier, the route set is traveling and doing courses in different locations really does make an impact. But it's great for the athletes because it means they get a mixture of everything. I
Yeah.
think, although we can say there is a Swiss style or a Korean style or a
Yeah.
French style, it is nice to see that every now and then you get a mixture of those holds. Even though you're in Switzerland climbing that Korean style with lots of hanging
And
hooks.
when the athletes come here, they make good connections with people who make the holds in the country. They buy them, they swap them. So the more integration of holds between everyone is far better. What do you think about the proposed rule one day of having like a set holds for every World Cup, that this is the box that you have to get your holds from?
I think it's not a bad idea. You know, I think as long as we make the set large enough that there's still lots of kind of ability for route setters to pick and choose what they want. I think it's a good idea because it'll allow the athletes to know every hold.
Yeah.
You never want to get to a route and fall off because you don't know how to use the hold.
Yeah.
That feels a little unfair if you've never seen it and you're expected to know how to use it, and it's very specific. However, I do think in like the Continentals, maybe leaving it up to the route setter's choice so that there's still room for development
But
rather than
you-
just being stuck with a
What
set.
about, what about the fact that you have to trial a hold at a competition? Like European Cups could be good for that, and then use it
Exactly
in the
that.
World Cup.
If we had the Continental Cups as kind of the testing ground,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they got promoted to join the set,
Yeah, if the athletes are like, that's not going to break my tools, it's a cool move, we can do something with that, then it gets promoted.
for
Or
sure.
gets voted on even.
I think it'd be really good.
We have Ruson Shun, who is again no stranger to finals.
No stranger to medals. I think
Yeah,
Shin has
yeah.
won more medals than anybody in this sport. I just don't understand how she makes it look so effortless. And she's not the tallest climber, but
No.
she is without a doubt one of the strongest. And she's a perfectionist. I don't know if you're watching close enough to be able to see her footwork, but it's effortless.
What is it they say? That timing, timing beats power, or timing, something like that. I can't remember.
Here we go. Jae Yun just
Does it perfectly.
again made that really hard, difficult move that's made so many athletes fall off and just cruise through it. He's just getting this clip now.
Oh, the
Oh,
rope
he's going to
drag,
skip it.
the
He's
rope
going to go
drag.
for it. Yeah,
That's
he's going for the
clever.
holds. Smart. Good decision.
An easy clip from there, mate. Yes, good.
He's going for the holds.
Oh,
he's
he
going for the
touched it.
holds.
Yes.
He's going for the holds. Come on. He needs to get that clip if he wants to keep moving, though, because he can't climb past it. Here we go. And he's got it. Here comes the last move.
Come on. Yes! Go on.
All he's got to do is clip this draw and then match the holds.
Clip a match.
Wait, look at that.
Look at the drag.
He can't even pull the rope up. He's fighting so hard.
This is... Come on.
He's got it.
Come on.
And there we go. So that's the first top that we've seen in time for the men's route, and I think it was just by the skin of his teeth.
And also, see from a route setting point of view, see when your last top three, who are in theory all as good as each other, are topping. That's beautiful.
That is exactly what we all want to see.
Come
There you
on.
go, gives a bow to the crowd. He will be very happy, and for a Korean climber to do it at the home nation venue,
So glad he was
amazing.
like, I'm not clipping. Do the move.
I think that was pretty smart.
Yeah, it
I
was.
think we were saying some athletes haven't managed to adapt,
When
but
he
he
went-
certainly has.
When he went from the red one on the highest up volume into the silver, I was like, oh mate, I don't know about this. You're clipping at your ankle. But he did it.
As long as you can make that clip, as
Yeah.
long as it is still a valid clipping position,
Yeah, without
it is
downtime,
legal.
yeah.
So definitely a good decision, and the drag must be insane. You can see, look at the way the rope has to come
And
from the left to the right.
He had to go left hand on and then take it from his left side and pull it all the way up to the right.
I think that's the worst thing in the world, when the drag is the thing that kills you.
Yeah. Son Shun doing well.
So let's see how she tackles this move that's dropped a few people. Yep. I think you're right, Oz. Trying to get that axe out of the hole.
It's too good a hold because you're dropping.
Oh, and she's got it. I think it's a stein pull, so I think you know what
Think
it's
it's a
like.
stein?
Well, when I see them move up, they're going up in kind of with the tool upside down. So I
Yeah.
think the struggle is trying to like unweight a stein pull, and you know what it's like. If you
Yeah.
don't unweight it, it's not coming out.
But a lot of people think that the steins are the greatest holds, and once you're in them, they're fine. But see, actually, like sometimes coming out them or locating them is difficult. There's
So-
Benji on the left.
Just about to come into shot on
Go
the
on,
left.
Benji.
We have Benjamin Bossard, the absolute Swiss machine.
The Swiss machine.
So Benjamin, I think he's won silver medals in World Cup finals at Saas-Fee last year.
Yeah.
He has won gold medals in the Continental Cup this year. This guy is
The real-
unbelievably fit.
He's the
and
real deal.
like you said, he knows what he's doing. If we're going to see another top,
Yeah.
I think this is the man.
Climbs on ace speeds, and with a nomic pick integrated into them.
Yeah, custom, isn't it?
Yeah, custom, and I don't know how he gets off the ground. For such an amazing climber, he's decided to climb on some of the hardest and weirdest tool and pick combinations there is.
But if it works for you,
Like that's the thing. If it works for you, it
I
works
don't think
for
I
you.
can climb on those tools. But hey, it works for him, and
I would give myself a black eye within about 20 seconds using those tools.
So Shin up here, just coming onto that barrel where most of the women are started slowing down. If anything, she looks like she's speeding up. She'll know that every hold she makes now is just one step closer to that final.
Go on.
And I think, although you are in isolation, a lot of these athletes, by coming out this late in the game, they will know roughly how far the other athletes have got. You can kind of tell by the time that the other athlete's out.
It is worth saying though
And the
that
crowd.
the music here is as loud as we've had it ever. It's a wee bit actually too loud, I would say sometimes.
Maybe that's deliberate so that they can't hear what's going on.
yeah, it could well be part of it. Right, Benji.
So
Is
Benji
here.
just working out how to get to this hold, which he has to dyno off of, making it look pretty easy. There we go.
So Benji apparently this year has been training Fig 4s and 9s so hard that he has removed all the hair from the backs of his wrists. Which is very, very impressive. Go on, lad. Come on, get that Alaraks in. That's it. Good.
He looks weightless up there. Doesn't look like he's
Does.
struggling. Here comes the 4. And straight into the next hold, I bet. Yeah, like not even a second to breathe or think.
Yeah.
He's just like, let's go. He doesn't have any problem with being in the reef. In fact, he's probably enjoying this.
So mistakes can happen when you're climbing. Like Dennis yesterday, when he went up there, actually got his the rake on his crampon stuck in a draw, and it's wee bits and pieces like that that can affect a finals run like this. We haven't seen anyone have any kind of technical nightmares today at all, so it's been decent that way. But is there anything worse than when you're hanging off a hold, trying to get your foot out, or trying to undo the rope?
Lady luck isn't always with you, and
Yeah,
sometimes
true.
you sometimes you get away with it. You get lucky with something happening where
Yeah.
you just get saved, and
Yeah.
and sometimes you get spanked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the way of the game, and I think it can hurt your ego, and you can be a bit bruised after a horrible moment like that. But to be fair, it happens to everybody.
It does happen to
And
everyone.
like we
The
said
second
earlier,
you start thinking it's you that gets the brunt of it, that's when things are going.
and sometimes a comp can go your way and sometimes it doesn't, and we've seen it so many times, like we were saying earlier, the first hold, the curse of falling off the
Yeah.
first move, and it's horrible. I've personally done it where you step onto that finals route and your feet blow off on the first move, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, the embarrassment. But you just have to take it on the chin,
Yeah.
smile, wait for the cameras, and just come back next time. And how many times have we seen that where someone has fallen off the first move,
Yeah.
and then the next week they're on the top of the podium.
Yeah.
So if you are a new athlete and you had a nightmare yesterday, or something happened, or I don't know, maybe you just had your ego bruised by thinking you were going to do better than you did, and,
Yeah.
and then actually you didn't get the result you wanted. It is about showing up, and it is about putting in the effort and coming back. And I think if you can take that moment of stress
Yeah.
and suck it up and use it as fuel to
Yeah. Yeah.
to fire yourself into the next gear, then that's all that matters.
Catalina Shirley here on the right hand side. And just to say what Will's was saying there, one weekend you're a rock star, the next weekend you're a spectator. It's a hard world that we live in here.
Okay, Benji, let's see what
Come
you
on.
can do here. So he's up at this tricky crux. Now we know it's possible because we've seen a few people get past this move, and we've even seen a top. So
I don't think he's pumped, but he's just doing wee shakes
just to maintain,
to maintain.
going for the clip. Still got a bit of strength if he's able to pull
Left
that rope
foot,
up.
Left foot higher, mate. Left foot higher.
I think up here the crux is that rope drag. There we go. He's
Good,
hit that hold
Benji.
first time.
Come on.
He's in. And I've seen Benji's picks. They will be sharper than a razor blade. So
Come
there's
on.
no way that's going to ping on him.
No, lean.
He's got
Yeah.
this.
Right, good.
Oh, the drag. There we go. He's got it.
Yeah.
And how much time? He's a fast climber, so he must have plenty of time left.
I honestly think he might have 40 seconds to a minute left.
I think we're going to see another top here, don't you?
Go on, Benji.
Here we go. Easy.
Yes, good.
Not even a second of
Right,
hesitation.
Clip.
There's the clip. And there's the match.
Match
Another top.
Done. Well done.
Fair play, that man.
Even having the discipline at the top to look down at the judge just to make sure you're like, did I get time? Am I in? Done.
Like we said, he's no
done.
stranger to topping. And tonight I think we're going to see an exceptional performance from Benji in the finals as well. So it will be down to time between Benjamin and Lim, depending on who topped the route faster, of who comes out in first place.
So who do we have left? Young
Young Lee, I think.
Yeah, from Korea. And then on the right after Catalina, we will have the brilliant, the famous Zina Gertz. Come on. Kat was here last year as well and had a great trip. And I think every single climber has progressed, not gone backwards. Like the level keeps getting higher and higher and higher.
And I think it's been interesting since we had that large gap in people's climbing schedules, the competition schedules with the COVID break.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see how athletes have come back and how some people have fallen away from the sport and have become coaches, or maybe just
Route
decided
setters or
it wasn't for them anymore. They'd had enough. And some athletes have taken that break and been like, you know what, I am going to train my balls off, and I'm going to come back stronger than ever. And I think with Kat here, like you said, last year performing well, this year coming into the first World Cup round and topping both qualifiers.
Yeah.
And now, she doesn't look like she's having any trouble here on this ice block. I think she's going to be pushing into finals without a shadow of a doubt. So she's just got to find this next hold and get that clip before she can unlock the next part of the route.
So she just went up there with her right hand, touched the clip just to be sure that she was in a good position, rather than taking the rope out and then realising, oh, I can't reach that. So it is a clever thing to do. It costs you a couple of seconds, but could also save you 20 seconds. I'm going to say she's climbing on Jet 2 as well.
Yeah,
as
she is.
everything.
Does she not have the same?
Same 4.2,
yeah.
same as me.
Same as me.
Same as
Proud
me.
as punch.
Yeah. No, I
Like
have
a guy with a new
Sorry,
sports car.
I have the same as her. That sounds a bit better.
So we've got Young Gun Lee on the left here, who's, I don't know how long he's been on the wall, but it feels like seconds. He's absolutely cruising up this first section. He'll push through this crux like it's nothing. Easy. Do you reckon we're going to see a third top today, Oz?
Yeah, I do.
And what do you reckon? Are we going to see a top in the women's? None of the women have been on the last couple of holds. I think the time for the women is getting absorbed in that middle section.
I'm going to go on record here and Zena's going to top.
We'll see it.
Nah, I think so.
So Lee just setting up for the dyno here. Static or dyno? I think full send.
Full beans.
All or nothing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no
get the
problem.
lift. Oh, so he's not. Yeah, I was going to say, get that other axe in the hole. Why wouldn't you? So he swung so much there.
I am still so impressed with the way that Sam
came
I know. Out.
Yeah.
And
go on, Catalina, come on.
And just cruised that big dyno.
So you'll watch. See when you're doing a big traverse move, like.
I don't know how she's still on.
So when you go from right to left, you want to let the right axe go right at the last second because you can almost use it to stabilize yourself until you get on. So the reason me and Wills kind of made that noise is that left axe was doing all kinds of crazy things.
It still is.
It still is. Please sort this out. Yes.
Wobbling around on it.
Yes.
She's got the next hold. Yeah. Amazing.
Right. Good.
So is that a new high point? It's definitely up there. If it's not the high point, she is
we're in high
definitely
point
pushing in that.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
And she knows she's coming up on time.
Next hold,
she is firing for the holds now.
Fair enough, get that throw. Right.
Here we go.
Yes.
And again, and again.
Yes, come on.
And she's got
it. Yes, come on. Clip.
I would just be going for the holds now.
She's got 3...
2 holds to go.
And then
she's
right hand top.
I think that's her time. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, what a shift.
Wow.
There's already an amazing crowd here, and it's only 10:25 in the morning.
So our last competitor on the wall still, Young Gun Lee from Korea, giving it absolute big licks through this roof. He looks like he's floating at the moment. I don't even think I've seen him shake once. Oh, there we go. So we've got this big move up to this stone. I think he's going to top personally. Here he comes up onto the stone. He just made that look so easy. I think it's incredible how fit these Korean athletes are on this structure. They just don't have any trouble.
It was amazing. No one's made a mistake.
We've not had any drama.
Everyone's...
I don't know. We did lose a few axes in a few places. That's nothing unheard of, though.
That's nothing. But there's no one's made a mistake or fallen early or. See, this is a prime example of like great route setting. Let the climbers get into the climb, give them a crux, and then give them some more. And it's perfect.
Okay, here comes Lee for this last section. The top head ball, 5 or 6 moves of absolute nails climbing. You can see the pressure through his toes here as he's got to hold this undercut. Gets a clip. And now he's got to work his feet up to make this move. We know how hard this move. We've seen so many good climbers come off this. Here we go. First time. Oh, almost. And again. And like you said earlier, Oz, if you miss it the first go.
Yeah, if you miss it the first and the second
the percentage just goes down and down and down. He's got it.
Yeah, good man.
Okay. He needs to keep moving if he wants the top. Into reverse grip there, just keeping himself stable. He's going to try and get this clip, which is interesting. At this
unless
point,
he knows he's timed out and he doesn't want to take a massive...
at this point, he should be focusing purely on the next hold. He's spending a lot of time faffing there, but hey, he's still on the wall. Maybe he just needed that minute to compose himself before going for this last bit. Okay, full send now. Here we go. One more hold for the top.
Come on.
Are we going to see it? I think he's still in time just about.
Nope.
That is allowed. The ice is there.
Is that a hold?
Yeah, I think it's in. And there's the top. So that's 3 men, the top 3 coming out
Yeah.
and getting 3 tops.
And just as he's finished, Zina Gertz flies up. Come on.
So Sina from Switzerland, she's won multiple medals as all these athletes in the top 3 kind of have in World Cups.
Fig 4, Fig 9, masterclass.
The last competition she was at in the Netherlands, she was really unlucky where she made a dyno and she actually caught the handle of her axe in the rope as she dynoed and lost her axe, which was a bit of a nightmare for her because she was the favourite to win after qualifying first. So I don't know. I think she's an experienced athlete enough to not let that get in her head. And she cruised qualifiers yesterday, like almost to the point where it seemed unfair to everybody else.
There we go.
So we'll see how she gets on.
Thank you.
So one thing we love about Sina is she just figure fours absolutely every hold.
Yeah.
She's got this ability to get in and out of a figure four, regardless of whether her hands are above her head, off to the side, together on the same axe.
Because
it's just bonkers.
Often, the worst hold that you come across, it makes it safer if you fig 4 or fig 9 it because you get as much of your weight onto that hold as you can, and it reduces the amount it can move. So it does make it safer.
And for those big reaches,
look at the hip flexibility there, having to stay so close to the wall.
if I tried to do that figure four there, I reckon I would snap. It's so impressive.
It would sound like someone dropping like a pane of glass.
But it is her style, and she absolutely owns that style. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't think there's anybody else on the circuit at the moment that has got that ability to just get in and out of figure four, regardless of how high or how low it is.
Agreed.
And it's that ability, even when she's holding onto the same tool, to get the foot between her arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just a saving grace. You know, when she's like, oh, this hold's a bit bad, and she doesn't want to risk pinging. She's able to just get into that figure four, like you said earlier, weight the pick, keep all the pressure down the way, and just make those big moves up the way. Cruising through this section.
What route would you say was harder?
I
don't think there's much in them, to be honest.
I think the men's is definitely more positive in the holds. I don't think we've seen anybody really ping low down on the men's, whereas the women's, we've dropped a few ladies kind of down low. They've definitely got a more technical section where they had to do it right.
Yeah.
However, the roof on the men's is definitely longer. It's a lot more of a burly roof. I think it's more style, more set for the men.
Yeah.
But the women, they've dropped a few people on this roof, but they've all done really well here, I think. And to see the men's route get topped so many times and the women to be so close, what Kat had the second last hold.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see a top from Sina here.
I don't know if we've got time enough.
Kat was close, and Sina she's flying at a blistering
Look
pace.
at that, getting this axe out.
She's coming back to the wall just to work out how she's going to do this. It's definitely a Steinpool, this hold they've got to get out of. And as she goes into the 9 here, she's going for the 4 to get more weight on it.
Come on.
Look at her really trying to rip that axe. She just can't get that tool out the other hold. It's bonkers to think.
That's wild.
You just can't keep moving.
See, you can't even plan for this. Like, why is she going for a different side of the ice? Is it the angle that she's loaded down on?
I think because the move is so big, once you commit to the next axe, the other axe is so far away that you have to push away from it to unload it, which she's just struggling to do. You can see her really trying.
Trying like hell.
Oh, God. Come on, Sina. Oh, no. Again, that move. Killing.
Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, she tried so many times to get that tool to come out the hold. And I don't know about the results. We'll have to check in on the results to see who our final 8 and the women are going to be, because it was so close with how many of them managed to get that tool out or not. We're just loading it up here. But what a semi-final.
Yeah, that's class.
I think it's worth saying that, you know, when any of those 32 athletes that have just competed, hopefully watch this back, you have all performed so well. It's just so cool to see. the elite of the sport pushing it so hard, and to see everybody really putting mega efforts this early in the morning after climbing yesterday. Wow, you've impressed me in Oz at least.
You've all done so well.
Okay, guys, so that kind of concludes the semi-finals here in Cheongsong. Now, the official UIAA live stream will be happening tonight. We can guarantee that. And Oz will be commentating with Matt later on. So make sure you keep an eye on the streaming links. They'll be streamed everywhere, Instagram, Facebook. And make sure you tune in. I can't remember what time it is, but we'll put a little update on this channel as well. So thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Make sure you share it wide and far. And tune in tonight to see the top 8 male and female compete here in the World Cup final in Cheongsong.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you bastard.